All right, let's now shift our attention to what is unfolding in France, where there have been 365 deaths related to COVID-19 in just the last 24 hours, taking the country's total death toll to 1,696. Now, this is the highest daily death toll for France. Now, a total of 11,500 people have been infected. A 16-year-old is said to have been one amongst the latest of the victims in France. Some officials in France say that the actual death toll could be a lot higher than what the government is quoting. The entire state is in a complete state of shutdown. In Paris, both metro and rail services have been reduced to bare minimum. The two of Paris's main airports have also been shut off, and French President Emmanuel Macron has called on the army to help the country. The government believes that the 15-day period of lockdown measures could be extended further, with a final decision expected in the forthcoming days. Meanwhile, medical authorities believe that the worst is still yet to come. Hospitals across the country have been racing against time to prepare for the big wave of the critically ill patients. The many believe that France is next in line after Italy and Spain. 2 in every 5 of the country's 5,000 intensive care beds have already been occupied by the coronavirus patients. Meanwhile, France has transferred the COVID-19 patients on a train as hospitals in some regions are struggling with the influx of patients. A high-speed train was transformed into a makeshift hospital, and it transported 30 patients in intensive care. Medics had to carry the patients into the carriages and then set them up for the journey. And on the other side of the British Channel, in the United Kingdom, the country has recorded its highest single-day jump in terms of the death toll, with over 100 deaths having been reported in just the last 24 hours. And now the healthcare officials are overwhelmed with a growing number of cases. And Wion's correspondent Anila Chaudhary, who's been tracking the details very closely there, has sent us this report. Listen in.
It's bad news here in the UK, as the number of people who have died from the coronavirus has jumped above 100 in just one day for the first time ever. These stark figures come after a senior hospital official said they're seeing a tsunami of cases in the capital city of London, and intensive care beds are running out. Chris Hobson of NHS Providers said that while the critical care capacity has increased, so has demand. And the streets here are empty. People are taking this very seriously. And I partook in a kind of nationwide clap for NHS staff workers, where people, either from their windows or from their front doors, stood outside and clapped for 1 minute in tribute to NHS staff. I was on Oxford Street the other day, one of the most famous streets in the world. On a hot day in spring, it was absolutely empty. So people are really taking it seriously here, and there's no surprise with what the figures are showing.